Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I will be reviewing all the weapons in Monster Hunter World. And these weapons do include mostly iceborn weapons and stuff like that. But I will be reviewing assembly for beginners, how much damage input or output they can produce, and just how they play out in a normal hunt. And I will be basically just reviewing them on my opinion. So if you disagree with me, that's alright. So the great sword. Wasn't really a huge fan of the great sword. It's not that simple to use because you have to, in order to get great damage, to up to 600 or more, you need to charge it up to the true charge flash, and I can't do that very fast. The longsword. It took me a while to understand how it worked, but once the training arena really helped, and once I started using the training arena for it, it was very simple. I really liked this weapon. It's great for putting out large numbers of damage. Just it takes a bit of practice on how to master, and yeah. And basically, that's basically all there is to it. It's a great weapon, and I really like it. The sword and shield. The sword and shield is the recommended for beginners, and I can understand that because there's basically only 3 buttons you really need to understand. And that's the okay, well, don't know what happened there, but there's basically only 3 buttons you need to understand, and that's the slash button, the shield bash button, and the block button, which are all different on all 3 consoles. And basically, yeah. And the dual daggers are pretty cool. They can put up a lot of damage with the mounting attacks that they use. You might see that they have low attack power, but that's because they want to even it out, and because they can do multiple attacks at once. So basically, yeah, that's pretty good. Beginners, takes a bit, not as easy as the sword and shield, but it'll take a bit. The war hammer, or the hammer, whatever you want to call it, it's a pretty good weapon. High damage, and if you really know how to use it, you can put up to about 500 damage on one of the hits. I forgot what it's called. It's pretty good for beginners. And yeah. And then the flute, no. I don't like the flute. It's difficult. It's just like an instrument. No, it's not that well for beginners. It's basically a support weapon if your buddies need help on a quest. The lance, in my opinion, is just a meme. It's a meme, especially the little running thing that I will have a clip of at the end of the video. It's just hilarious. The gun lance. The gun lance is the lance, just different move sets, and it has a gun, a revolver in it. Here. See that revolver in there? Yep. And it's pretty good. I've gotten a gun lance to the Cold Turret quest, which you'll do later on in the story. The switch axe, one of my favorites in this entire game. The switch axe is just so much fun to play with. It's really easy to understand, and the damage output is really, really well done. And I just love it. It's awesome. The charge blade. The charge blade is really good. It can put in a lot of damage into the enemy, and basically, it's my second primary. It's really well done. Some of the weapons even look awesome and stuff like that. And it's not that it takes a bit of practice to understand, but it's once you master it, bro, you could be soloing a lot of monsters that you thought you could never solo in a million years. And it's a sword and shield type weapon, so you can block as well. And it also changes into an axe and does a very powerful attack with all the files and charged up moves you can do. The glaive, the weapon I started off with when I first started playing Monster Hunter. The glaive is pretty well for understanding the game or getting through it, because it can fling you into the air and do aerial attacks and stuff like that. This specific glaive, the Bio Glaive 2 and 1, carried me through basically the entire game. It was just awesome. And stuff like that, that's awesome. And here's some more glaives I got. The kinsects are used for the glaive, and they're a big important to the glaive. When you shoot the kinsect at the monster, at a certain part of the monster, you can get sample 1, sample 2, and sample 3. They all have their certain abilities, where sample 1 is an attack ability, basically. Sample 2 is a flight ability, and sample 3 is a speed ability. So that's pretty great. I mainly use this one. It's a fire element poison dust effect. It's pretty well done, and I really like that one. The light bowgun. The light bowgun, it's pretty good for beginners. It can carry you through some of the beginner ones, and it's really well done. You can move while hitting the monster at the same time. It's pretty good. The heavy bowgun is basically the light bowgun, but it has so many more other potentials. Like this one, the Fatal Assault. You can put shields on it, you can put a longer barrel, and basically that's almost it. And then the bow and arrow. The bow and arrow can be used to put a huge amount of damage into a monster, but I never really understood it. I used it, but I could never do so much damage. I'm doing like 7 damage per shot. I've never really understood it. So, if you guys have any tips for the bow and arrow, please comment down below. And yeah. So, one that I recommend for beginners is the sword and shields or dual daggers or the glaive. Those 3, in my opinion, would be great for beginners. And soon in the future, I will be making a video on how to specifically use them and stuff like that, and that would be awesome. But if you already have a family member that plays Monster Hunter World, it's best to learn with them. So yeah, thank you for watching this quick tutorial for all the weapons, and I will see you next time. Bye!